Hi and welcome back to the Follow My Lead YouTube channel. This is the first video where we're going to go through some behaviours. We're going to cover a range of foundation behaviours like a sit, a lie down, a target, and these are really useful behaviours to have in your toolkit, but also ones that help build upon for other tricks. So a sit can be a sit pretty, a down, a roll over, a target can target other things in the environment. There are two main ways to teach in reward-based training. One is luring and the other is shaping. And we're going to go through the difference between these. So luring is where we move the dog into a position using a treat or a toy to guide their body. So they follow the treat or the toy and that moves them into a certain position. So for example, with a sit, we might move a treat up over the dog's head, their head goes up, their bottom goes down, and they're in a sit. That's luring. The other way of teaching is shaping. And shaping is where we reward approximations towards a goal behaviour. So this is a really useful technique for when there isn't something we can guide the dog to physically do with a lure. So if we want to teach a dog to ring a bell, for example, we might first reward them for looking at the bell, then moving towards the bell, and then touching the bell with a part of their body. And gradually we raise the criteria as we move towards our goal behaviour. So the dog's trying out different behaviours. It's a bit like the hotter and colder game. So as an example of luring, we're going to teach Teddy to do a spin. Now Teddy doesn't know what a marker word is yet, so like in our previous video, we're just going to charge up the marker for him. Yes! So we're just associating the word with a snack. Yes! 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 Okay, now he's got an idea that yes means good stuff. We're going to introduce the spin and we're going to do this with luring. So what I'm going to do is take a piece of food in my hand. These are venison steak cubes, so they're quite popular. Take a piece of food in my hand. I'm going to pop it in front of his nose and guide him around in a circle. Yes! So he does the spin. Now we don't need to worry about a word for it yet because we're just teaching him the action we want. Yes! Good job! Yes, good job. So now we're going to show you an example of shaping, and we're going to shape Janet to put a paw on this block. Now Janet's done quite a lot of shaping, so the process might go quite quickly for her. Be prepared that if your dog is new to shaping, it might take quite a while longer. For the sake of this video, we will have streamlined the process so it isn't too long to watch. But just be aware that if your dog hasn't done it before, there might be quite a lot of waiting. So I'm just going to pop the item down in the environment and be ready with some treats. Yes. 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 So I'm just rewarding any interest that she's showing the yes, the block. Yes. 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 So I'm only rewarding now when she touches the block. Yes. Yes. I'm going to toss a treat away to reset her. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Yes. So she's figured out the game. So just to reiterate, that was pretty speedy with Janet, but she has done a lot of shaping before. There's quite a lot of waiting often in shaping, and during those gaps where the dog isn't offering another behaviour, we're not going to ask them to do anything, we just wait. And any steps towards the goal behaviour we're going to reward. So for example, looking at the block, moving towards the block, touching the block with a foot, putting a paw on the block. Another dog we did it with that has not done any shaping before, it took 15 minutes to get to the point that it took Janet just about 2.5 minutes to get to. So do be prepared that when they're learning shaping, it does take them a while. So now we're going to go through how to teach each of the foundation behaviours. We're going to teach these using luring, and shaping is going to be used in a future video. After each how-to, Kirsten will show us an example of the finished behaviour and some examples of what that can also lead on to. So Teddy already knows a sit, so it will go a bit quicker with him than if you're starting from scratch. But this is the process you would go through, and just do more repeats at each stage. So what we want to have is our dog standing in front of us, and we take a piece of food in our hand, and we're going to push it up over their head. As their head goes up, yes, their bottom goes down, and they're in a sit. So we'll do that again. Yes, good job. Now he's getting the idea, we can start to fade out the law. So we'll have an empty hand this time. Yes, and we feed from the other hand. Yes, good boy. And now he's getting the idea of that, we can start to add our word. Sit. Yes, good boy. Sit. Yes, good boy.
Sit. For example, a sit can lead into a peekaboo or a sit pretty. We're currently working on peekaboo with Bonnie. So she's already in a sit, and then I'll lure her. There we go. Good job. I'm going to do the last bit. We're not there yet. Good girl.
So what I'm going to do is take a piece of food, pop it in front of his nose and guide him down towards the floor. Yes. As soon as his elbows touch the floor, I'm going to give his marker word. I'm going to reset him just by tossing a piece of food away to get him back on his feet. And we'll do it again. Yes, good boy. We'll reset him again. And now we're going to fade out the law. So I'm going to have an empty hand and guide him into the position. Yes. And then I'm going to feed him from my other hand. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Now he's getting that idea, we'll add the word. So I'm going to reset him. Down. Yes, good boy. Down. Yes, good boy. And over time, as the dog learns it more and more, you can start to fade out that hand movement and rely just on your verbal cue. Down.
So for example, a down can be used as a basis to go into a rollover when you teach that. Bonnie, down. Yes, roll over. Good.
Okay, we're going to teach a touch now, which is where the dog touches their nose to the palm of our hand. So the way we're going to teach it is we're going to take a piece of food and wedge it between your fingers and have your hand nice and flat. I'm going to have food ready to feed him in this hand. I'm going to put both hands behind my back and I'm going to present the hand with food wedged in it quite close to the side of his head. When his little nose touches my hand, I'm going to give his marker word and feed from my other hand. Yes, good boy. Don't worry if your dog offers their paw, it's quite normal. We're just going to ignore that and wait for his nose to touch. Yes. 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 Good boy. Yes. Boy. Okay, now I'm going to take this piece of food out of this hand. So I'm just going to have an empty hand, a freebie there. I'm going to have an empty hand now and we're going to do the same. Yes. Good boy. Ready. Teddy's very strong on a paw. If your dog ignores your hand when you present it or they're consistently offering their paw, just give them a second, take your hand back behind your back, get them ready. Ready, ready, ready. Yes, good boy. We're looking for the moment the nose touches my hand. Yes, good boy. If your dog also consistently offers their paw, it can help to do a touch on the move. So their feet are down on the floor because they're walking. Yes, good job. Well done. So now we can start to introduce our cue word, which is touch. So as his nose touches my hand, to be sure he's going to do it, I'm going to say my cue, and then I'm going to mark and feed. Touch. Yes, good boy. Touch. Yes, good boy. Now we can start to say our cue word earlier before we present our hand or before his nose touches it. Touch. Yes, good boy. 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 Well done.
Touch. Once your dog has mastered the touch, you can then add duration and make it into a target, which is just a sustained hand touch. And target can be useful for things like cooperative care, which we'll go through in a future video. Target. Good job.
So now we're going to teach an eye contact, where we want the dog to look at our face. So the way we do this is we take some food in our hand and show it to the dog. Then we're going to hold our hand out in a T shape and wait for them to look away from our hand and at our face. Ready? If they get distracted, we just remind them where the food is. Doesn't matter how long it takes for them to look at our face. Yes, good boy. Well done. Repeat that. Yes, good boy. At first, a little glance is absolutely fine. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. Well done. Yes. Yes. You can also put this on a cue. So as the dog brings their attention to your face, you can add a cue like looking or watch. Watch. Yes. Good boy. Watch. Yes. Good boy.
Looking.
So now we're going to teach a wait. And a wait means hold your position until I release you. So we're going to do this with Teddy sat down in front of me, and I'm going to move away from him and ask him to wait in place before then calling him towards me. So start nice and easy with your dog. So I'm only going to take a tiny step with a really short duration. Wait. Yes. Okay. Good boy. Wait. Yes. Okay. Good boy. As the dog gets more proficient with this, you can extend the duration and the distance. So I'm going to add another step now. Wait. Yes. Okay. Good boy. Sit. Wait. Yes. Okay. Good boy. Well done.
Wait.
Okay. Good job. Now we're going to teach a leave it. So that means don't touch that or don't put that in your mouth. So the way we teach this is we take a piece of food in our hand, and each time Teddy tries to take it, I'm going to tell him to leave it and move it out of reach. When he stops trying to grab it, I'm going to use his marker word and feed him from my other hand. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. As the dog gets better, you can move it towards their face and lower towards the floor. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Yes, good boy.
Leave it. Good job.
So that's it for this video. That just about covers a set of foundation behaviours. In the next video, we'll move on to some more advanced tricks and behaviours. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or requests.